Back to that big story developing tonight. Twitter suspending the accounts of several journalists who cover the platform and its new owner, Elon Musk. The suspensions all happening abruptly in the last couple of hours.
Just in tonight, Elon Musk banning multiple tech journalists from Twitter with no explanation.
This seems really scary, okay? These are reporters who covered Elon Musk, who have covered the changes on Twitter since he took over. Now, he's claiming these suspensions are taking place because these reporters put him at risk, potentially posting his locations.
Banning multiple tech journalists from Twitter with no explanation.
He's now suspending reporters who have linked to people who have posted the location of private airplanes that are tracked by an open network of people across the United States, including Musk's private jet.
The ban includes the New York Times' Ryan Mack, the Washington Post's Drew Harwell, and our own CNN's Donny O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I mean, these reporters, and by the way, one of those people who got the account suspended is not a journalist, he's a political activist.
Right.
But now they're all saying, oh, why did I get my account? So, I mean, where were they when Donald Trump was kicked off the platform, right?
He's been annoyed that there's been this account, which has been active for years now, which tracks the movements of his private jet.
Right, but you're not doing that. Why did you get banned?
So we reported how yesterday he shut that account down, and tonight we continue to report on it.
This just does fall into the category of Elon Musk said he wanted a town square where everybody had equal and fair voice. But in fact, that's just not true. He just wants some people in his town square and still doesn't really have a good understanding of the First Amendment.
So the question is, can Twitter actually ban the president of the United States from its platform and a whole bunch of the president's supporters? Twitter is a private company, and the First Amendment doesn't prohibit private companies or individuals from controlling their own private property.
So, Ali, I think what Elon Musk really wants is a soap opera in which he is the star and the only actor that matters. Elon Musk does not believe in journalism. He does not believe that anyone has a right to criticize what he's doing. And so journalists whose job it is to call power to account are, in his mind, the enemies. And I think in this particular case, what we have going on here is a direct attack by Elon Musk on journalism and by extension on democracy.
Twitter permanently suspended President Trump's account this week. Experts say Twitter executives were within their rights to mute the president.
Twitter is a private platform. My rights right here where I'm standing are not equivalent to those on Twitter.
This is the thing that NBC and every other journalistic organization needs to understand. You cannot back down to this guy. I mean, there is a situation inside NBC with the extraordinary reporter, Ben Collins, who has been temporarily suspended from NBC for comments he made on Twitter about Elon Musk.
How much of a violation is this of free speech?
Yes. Well, as you know, the First Amendment doesn't apply to private companies. This is like a storefront saying, hey, I don't really want somebody saying that thing in my business.
What Ben Collins did is not only legitimate journalism, it was essential journalism. And I stand with Ben Collins and every other journalist who is trying to do their job in the face of this unrelenting assault, not just on the First Amendment, but an unrelenting assault on democracy.
Because Twitter is a private company, experts say the removal of the president for violating their rules is not a violation of the First Amendment.
Not just on the First Amendment.
Twitter is absolutely allowed to silence the president, as is any other social media platform that can make their own rules. Whether it's silencing him, of course it's not.
This is our one chance, and we've got to get it right.
Well, as you know, Ben and you and I often appear together having these conversations about Twitter.
And there is no one better on these topics than Ben.
Twitter and Facebook and Google are private actors. Just as much as you or I could throw someone out of our homes if they came inside and started screaming at our other guests, in the same way Facebook and Twitter and Google can throw people off of their platforms if they abuse their terms of service.
The thing is, what he did was completely standard inside Twitter.
Twitter is a private entity, so the First Amendment really has no bearing at all. If a private entity like Twitter or Facebook decided not to have you on their website, that's their deal. It is not a First Amendment issue.
And the thing is, what he did was completely standard inside Twitter.
But look, I think the bigger issue here is, of course, this is supposed to be the guy who's the free speech absolutist, right?
Wait, are you saying that Elon Musk is saying something that isn't true?
I think that seems to be the case.
Well,
John.
I mean, it actually goes further than that, John. He was touting, freedom of speech as this beacon, that Twitter would be a beacon of that until it comes to anybody saying something about something he doesn't like.
And I think it's important to mention, like you just said, this is not because they said something that was politically offensive. It was just because of a location issue, which is a very clearly stated policy issue for Twitter. Like, you can't give someone's location out.
Oliver, what is CNN going to do about this?
Well, I think this raises a big question about what the free press, what the future of the free press on Twitter looks like. Are news organizations going to stand by as the reporters are just, hastily banned without explanation?
Do social media companies violate the First Amendment when they ban or block someone from their platforms? So let's verify. Our source is the First Amendment, which allows us to verify that no, social media companies don't violate the First Amendment when they ban or block someone from their platforms. That's because they're private companies that can legally limit speech on their platforms.
Twitter really needs, or really relies on, news. That's what's the kind of the lifeblood of
and
Twitter.
Journalists.
Current events.
They're all on Twitter.
And so if you see news organizations start to pull their reporters, pull their brand accounts, pull their content off of Twitter, that's going to be a real blow to the platform and make it less usable, I think, for the average person.
First Amendment to the United States Constitution only protects us from government censorship, not censorship by private entities such as Twitter or Facebook or other social media platforms.
Elon Musk is a very successful businessman. He's a rich guy. He's a rich guy who bought a media company, but because he bought a media company doesn't mean he understands a thing about the media business or about how this all works. And I think he's just proving that again and again and again.
Twitter's terms of service allow the platform to pull content that violates its rules, and it's the same with most other major platforms.
And if I may, I think we should say that he is actively smearing people like Donny, saying that they effectively posted assassination coordinates on him for reporting on this Elon Jet account. That's obviously not true, totally false, but that's what you're hearing him say on Twitter tonight.
Also, the location of the jet is publicly available information.
Yeah.
These were not all journalists. Many of them are political operatives and political hacks, Ryan.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. So, yeah, this doesn't have to do with ideology or anything like that. This is just people that blatantly, violated a policy. Is not about their viewpoint, and that's the biggest issue we've had with Twitter, right? Is like people's real viewpoints, real truth was not coming out, was being censored. And I think that's the bottom line here. Is it's not about that at all here with these people being banned.
And by the way, Maria, he owns it. My goodness sakes, it's his company, right? And I think the reason the left is so angry is he has brought to light what Twitter was hiding from the American people. So I'm with Ryan. Elon Musk is my man of the year.